Okay, our next day. Like I said, some of those tables yesterday were a lot of fun. Some I had to deal with real tools on top of the little chubby prick that couldn't shut up and stop whining and, talk to me about karma or something when I hit one outer on the river. Like, dude, I don't control the cards. I mean, you get lucky sometimes, I get lucky sometimes. Don't bitch and whine to me about how I play bad or something. What a 2-year-old. Anyway, today we're going to... Wsop, by the way, I thought was pretty fun. Although I can see how people roast people the wrong way, but it was a fun table for a while. And then later on, right into the money, it was a fun table. And then we switched, and then it wasn't. And, it's weird how some tables are just all assholes and some tables are fun people. It's just the way it is. I wish they were all fun tables. All right, enough of that. Today, I'm going to do one last shot at the main. I'm just going to do the $500 580 satellite, it's called. Top 5% get in. Made how much did I make yesterday? I cashed out $1,800, so I made $1,000. Okay. Got that $800 independence thing, so a lot of hours of grinding, 12-hour day for $1,000, and then I just take 600 of it and I give it back to them. It's usually what I've been doing. The mini main, I make it and then I give it back to them for the next tournament. So it'd be nice to do really good in one of these tournaments and make actually something more than just the next buy-in. But of course, it's better than losing. I am going to do this little 580. Hopefully, I get a main event seat. If I don't, we'll hope I'm planning on getting a main event seat, right? Otherwise, I'll just play cash. And tomorrow's an $800 PLO event. But let's hope I actually get a main event seat. It's not the easiest because it's only 5%, but I've done it before. The one time I got in the main event, that's exactly what I did. I did win a main event seat, but I sold it for $9,000. This time, if I win the main event seat, I'm going to play the main event. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. We're at the satellite, and it's 13 places left. And we got 14. Well, yeah, we get 7K for one. The rest get a 10K seat. And we got down to 3 tables. So maybe double me up, and I'll buy them a beer. So, hey. All right, guys. So I got up this morning. I thought I'd take one last crack at trying to get into the main event. That was the last shot I was going to take. Just a $500 one. I didn't want to spend another $1,000. It's $580. And it was actually the one that I got a seat at before. Years ago when I played the main and cashed in it. It was fun. So I thought I'd give one more shot at it this morning. And guess what? I got myself a seat. It's different than prior events. Because they have like a, what is it called? You hit a certain level of chips. I forgot what it's called. You hit a certain level of chips, and then you're automatically taken out of the tournament. So as soon as you only start with 10,000, as soon as you hit 200,000, they kick you out. You automatically got a seat. We started with over 400 players. It was down to 40 or 38, something like that. They're already giving away like 4 or 5 seats. There was 13 more seats, and they turned around and right after they divided up tables. Excuse me. Right after they divided up tables, I had about 130,000. I got really lucky on one hand where the guy raised on the button, older man, he just sat down, and we both had about 65,000 in chips, which is pretty good, about 40 bigs. And I 3-bet, looked down at pocket queens in the small blind. I 3-bet for like 25,000. He rips it, or like 22,000, something like that. He rips it. I'm like, oh, God. And I look at him. He looks so fucking strong. He's breathing heavy. I'm thinking he doesn't have ace king. Sometimes you talk yourself into bad calls thinking, oh, he could have ace king, so I'm going to make a call here. But he didn't have ace king. He had kings. And I made the call. I made a bad call. And I would have been out right then and there. I thought I had a little bit more than him, but actually, as it turns out, that we had like the same amount of chips. So that was all. Yeah, I did. I had like 3,000 more than him, like nothing. So it would have pretty much ended my tournament there. But a queen came on the flop. And it was funny, right before he was all negative. He's like, I called, he's like, oh great, watch, the Queen's gonna come. I'm like, dude, you can't be like that. And it's sure as shit. It's kind of, you can't do that. You can't be all negative like that. But the Queen did come. Maybe he cursed himself. But, I don't know, anyway. I mean, it's just kind of funny how that, maybe he did, but not really. I mean, not really. I mean, just, I don't know. It's funny. It's unfortunate for him, fortunate for me. Queen came, and then right after that, I'm sitting at 130,000 forever. I'm trying to steal blinds when I can, but we had a lot of shorties at our stack and our table, so a lot of like 4 big blind stacks, 3 big blind stacks, and they're all shoving. And you know, a hand that I might normally play and open with an early position, like 7-8 suited, or even a late position, I couldn't play because it seemed like in front of me there'd be a raise called jam, or an early position I'd have like, you know, 6-8 suited or something where I'd want to play loose and try stealing chips. I might play it. Well, with a whole bunch of shorties behind me, I'm not going to play it because, you know, sure enough, I'd fold and then, you know, all in. You know, I'm always trying to chip up. So I just sat there for 130,000 with 130,000 of chips for, geez, probably 4 or 5 levels. And then they did a shuffle, a reorg, and we all got different seats and everything else. And I'm like, okay. And very first hand, very first hand, I was under the gun. I had ace 10, and the guy folded around to the big blind. He didn't have that much more. He's like, I can't fold. And I'm like, okay. So it was like 3,000 more and a 30,000 pot or something ridiculous. It wasn't that much, 8,000 maybe, but I called him ace 10. He had a 9-4 suited or something, and he wasn't lying. He was just going with it. And I held there, and then 2 aces came. And then the very next hand, I believe it was the very next hand after that, it was the very next hand after that, I'm in the big blind. Very next hand. Second hand, since we did a reorg, I'm in the big blind, and I look down at 2 aces, and the 2 aces, so I'm like, okay, let's see if I get any action here, see what happens. The button raised, and he raised kind of big too, and so I thought maybe he was just stealing. I 3-bet him, and we both had like 100 and some, 140,000, something like that. We bet about the same amount in stack, 120 or 140,000. If I win this hand and I double up, boom, I got my 200,000. And so I 3-bet him, and he jams. I'm like, oh, I couldn't wait to get in fast enough. And he had pocket 10s, and I had pocket aces. Thankfully, my aces held, and it was all zero, and I got a seat. I was thinking about whether or not I really wanted to turn around and take the money, or just take the cash. The cash is taxable, but of course I've been out of work for a while, so the cash is nice, but well, I don't know. It's like I won a seat to the main event and I sold it, and because money's more important to have. And then I came in second in another tournament, and I won enough money. I won like 17K to get in the main event. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna use the money, hold on to the money, use it to play a couple events in Vegas. But you know, when you're trying to do this for a living, I'm gonna save every nickel I can. So no, I'm not buying it in the main event. And then this time, boom, I got 10,000 again. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy into the main event. So instead of taking the money on this time, so I won my main event seat, and this time I'm just gonna I'm gonna play. So there you go. So I'm in tomorrow, day 1D. I will be playing it, and my buddy Tony Ludo's coming over, and he's gonna play it with me. And he's the guy I sold my seat to, actually, for 9K. So yeah, so we're both gonna play and see how it goes. And yeah, that's all I got to say about poker. Maybe I'll talk about it a little more later. But that's it. That's it, guys. I'm gonna get myself a submarine sandwich.